to the Warriors in year 11.
Okay, I have interest in this preseason game for a few different reasons. On a personal level, I want to see something about the copyright with ESPN, but y'all don't want to know nothing about that. Anywho, Warriors Kings, Demar Derozan giving it a go. FYO. I'm excited to see. I'm sorry, the Golden One Center. That's definitely a new name, right? The Golden One?
Here's DeRozan with the pull-up jumper.
By the way, arenas just be changing names. Like, if we just be going with the motion, like, arenas just be changing names now. Now, for any new subscriber that I have, any new viewer that I have, for those who don't know, I'm very high on DeMar DeRozan. I thought signing DeMar DeRozan at around $25, $30 million a season was better business than signing Paul George at $50 million a year. Like, I don't know if today who's better between DeMar DeRozan and Paul George. Some will say PG. Obviously, George has the complete package. But I always feel like people are so sleep on DeMar DeRozan. And if I had a Hall of Fame vote between DeRozan and George, me personally, I know George got off to a great start. That was a great start to his career as Keegan Murray gets the bucket. I feel like DeRozan has been the more consistent player. I'm going to be honest with you. That's how I feel. And I'm not paying $20 million more for George over DeRozan. So DeRozan was my number one free agent this offseason. It took him a long time to get signed. I think this was the best acquisition this summer. A guy that also got some new money this summer, Steph Curry, extended out 1 year. His contract wasn't due, but decided to add another $55, $60 million to his life in the future. Nothing's ever wrong with that. A lot of people would argue, Steph, you can get that money anytime as a Golden State Warrior. Why not put a little pressure on the GSW to make sure that dude right there that just got that and one acts right? Draymond Green, who gets suspended like once every 7 games at this point. Let's see what he's able to do this year. Maybe his last year as a Warrior. Definitely down to his last 2 years of his career is Draymond. Let me know your thoughts on both of these teams out west. As DeAnthony Melton, one of my favorite guys in the league, nails the three. It's going to be great for Golden State. He's going to be great. I think he's going to average. I have a deal with Underdog Fantasy. If they allow me to do over, under, or a higher, lower on DeAnthony Melton's stats, I'm going to pick the higher. You should do the same because I think that much of the opportunity he's going to get in San Francisco with the Warriors. Let me know your thoughts on both of these teams, though. I'm curious to see what the comment section's got to say. Is it time for Jonathan Kuminga to finally take that step forward? Can Kuminga put Draymond on the bench by the end of the year, or do the Warriors commit to playing both of these guys? No Klay Thompson in Golden State. Draymond nails the three. The craziest thing about Draymond and these threes is I'm talking so darn much. Bro, Draymond used to be a good three-point shooter when he got in the league. I don't know what the hell happened. I think what happened is mental. Like, I'm playing with Steph Curry and Klay. These dudes damn near never miss, as Steph, I'm sure, made that. Right? So what's the better percentage shot? Me shooting versus those dudes shooting. And usually it's those dudes shooting, no matter where they're shooting from. So I think Draymond probably just psyched himself out of being a good three-point shooter in this league. If he doesn't play with Steph and Klay, he probably still can shoot the three ball. But if he doesn't play with Steph and Klay, he's for damn sure probably not going to the Hall of Fame.
13 points on 7 shots for Curry here in the first half.
Uh-oh.
Jones banks and a three.
Ain't no way he called glass like that in the preseason. 1 point game on ESPN in the preseason. ESPN will take that. Oh, find me. What are you doing? Up Sabonis. I'll shut up. I think DeAnthony Melton and Steph, when they're in that backcourt together, I think they're going to make some magic. I know it'll be undersized, but I think them dudes, boy. I don't have the Warriors making the playoffs right now. I do have the Kings making the playoffs. The Kings are really good at situational basketball. They've been that way for years now. De'Aaron Fox been one of the better clutch players over the last 3 years. Matter of fact, season before last, he was the clutchest guy in the NBA. And I think the season before that, if I'm not mistaken, Demar Derozan was the clutchest player in the NBA, or right there in the swing of things. So you add DeRozan to a team that's already great situationally down the stretch. In theory, the Kings are going to win a lot of games because if they make it to the fourth quarter, which they're young enough to always make it to the fourth quarter, they got guys that are not going to make mistakes. You're going to put the ball in the hands of Fox, DeRozan, or Sabonis. I don't know what analytics you subscribe to. To hell with that for this. That is great. Those are 3 great decision makers that are not going to make a lot of mistakes late in basketball games. It is going to be tough to beat Sacramento in the regular season. And I believe if you give DeRozan an opportunity when he's not the number 1 option, when most nights he's not going to be number 2, I think in the playoffs, this team's got a chance to make some noise depending on matchups. I do think this team's got a chance to make some real noise.
The Warriors' offensive style in the first half.
Buddy Hield, if the Warriors are going to have any type of resurgence, you got to believe Buddy Hield's got to average like 3.5, 4 threes a game. You got to believe that. You got to believe Pajinski's going to take it up another notch. Beautiful dime there. And you need Wiggins to get close to all-star level again.
25.
Oh, beautiful. Kuminga, where you at with it? Bang.
On target tonight, 3 of 5 from deep.
They got to make a lot of threes, boy. I think they broke a record for threes in this game. Obviously, it doesn't count. But they're going to have to make a lot of threes to compete. The problem for Golden State is going to be defense. As much as they can score, you can get whatever you want on them. On the other end of the court, they're going to be bad defensively. They're going to be really bad defensively. The Warriors are going to be one of those teams like the Lakers, these old vet teams. They're going to have to get out to 19-6, 18-7, at worst 17-8, 25-game start. I believe that because they're going to have their struggles when the calendar gets to January, February. You got guys like LeBron and Steph and KD for the Suns that are just older and, play too much basketball to care about that pre-All-Star little window right there. I think you can wake these guys up for the in-season tournament. Money's on the line, and rich people still love more money. But after that, I think you're asking so much of these guys in the regular season. I'm just I'm not sure how these guys are able to keep these teams afloat as the Warriors go ahead by double digits. Melton, one of my favorite guys in the league, y'all. To Hield. By the way, this team should be great on NBA 2K. I have not played 2K25, but I would imagine the Warriors would be tough to beat. Does Kyle Anderson have floor general? I have Kyle and Steph making all the passes to all these damn shooters. Draymond making all the passes. They just need a big, man. They just need a big body.
Member of the Dallas Mavericks, he will return.
By the way, nobody talked about this. As Karl Anthony Towns got traded, nobody talked about Karl's name was mentioned with the Golden State Warriors for years. And all those assets that the Warriors have had over the past decade, think about James Wiseman, missing out on the opportunity to draft LaMelo. You think about Moses Moody, who I know he's still around, but, he never really manifested into what you thought he could be. Doesn't seem like they want to hand off Brandon Pajinski. They had Jordan Poole, Chris Paul, all these assets. If you love flexing your sports knowledge, you should head over to the best place to play fantasy sports and win some money while you're at it. That's Underdog. For me, I love the pick'em game. It's super simple to play, too. All you got to do is go to the Underdog website or app. You got to pick whether a player will have a higher or lower stat line for that specific game. You get your picks right, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money. And When you sign up, if you use your boy's promo code, which is Pharaoh, your deposit will get matched up to $1,000 is available to you in bonus cash. You can't beat that. Tap in with Underdog. My promo code is Pharaoh.